Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are doing a thrift store upcycle. Back in February, I got these 3 bright yellow planters and I haven't done anything with them. I do want a splash of color, so I painted 2 of them and I kept 1 yellow. First thing I did was I cleaned them up, took off the price tag sticker, washed them, and then I painted them. And I'm going to do a macrame using t-shirt. So while you're at the thrift store, pick up a t-shirt in any color that you like to decorate your home with. So here's the tutorial. The reason why half of the shirt is used because I did a test run to see if I liked it. In all honesty, I got this shirt from Michael's. It was 3 for $10, but I only bought 1, plus I had 25% off total purchase. You can see that I did not iron, but you don't need to. This type of tutorial doesn't require that. So what I'm doing here is I'm measuring every 1.5 inches. That's the width of each of the cords that you'd like. And as far as the length, it doesn't really matter. I got an extra large t-shirt, I believe, and so I'm using as much material as possible because you can always trim it off later if it's too long. You need 8 total strips, so that's 8 strips, about 1.5 inches width. To make this easier, we're just going to cut that hem at the bottom. We don't need that. We also don't need the sleeve, so I'm going to cut off one of those so it's not in the way while I'm cutting my cords. So as I'm cutting each strip, I don't actually cut it all the way off. I just cut it toward the top and then move on. That's so when they're all cut, I can kind of decide the ending point and make them all somewhat even, so one's not totally longer than the rest. And now for the fun part, lay out all 8 of your strips and give each one a really strong pull. You want to stretch it really taut to make sure it's totally stretched out. Extend it and pay attention to the ends too, because you can get some stretch all the way from the tips. Next, you're going to gather up all of your cords, make sure the ends basically line up. It does not need to be perfect, and you're going to tie them all together in one giant knot. Now you can adjust this knot, making sure you have a little bit of tassel at the end for decor, but you want to make sure it's tight because it's the base of the project. It's what's holding your planter up, so make sure it's pulled really strong. Go ahead and lay out your project, and you want to make sets of 2. So you have all 8 strings, 4 sets of 2, and you're going to be tying knots here. Now before you begin, you're going to want to measure the center of your planter to the edge of it, and that's how far down you want to make your first knot. So in my case, I was about 2 inches. This is so that the first knot totally clears the bottom base and is on the sides. So once you have that measurement, go ahead and tie your knot. You're just tying the 2 sets together. You're not doing anything fancy yet. And a tip here is to not tie them totally tight in case you do need to adjust as you go on. So that was tier 1. Now we're working on tier 2. We're going to do a total of 3 sets of knots. So now we're just making new partners, giving a string to each one that they didn't have before. You can see I'm matching up the inner ones, and the 2 outer strings wrap around and meet each other to make the 4th set. And again, about 1.5 to 2 inches down is the perfect amount. And finally, for the 3rd tier, you're doing the same exact thing. All 3 tiers of our knots are done. You can bring over your planter and slip the macrame cording around to make sure it all fits. This is where it comes in handy if you didn't make your knots too tight, because you may need to adjust. I know I did. Now this certainly isn't perfect. I'm not that kind of DIYer. I just want something somewhat frugal, sort of pretty to decorate my home with. So here's the final product. It was a very frugal way to decorate my home. Each planter was just over $1, and the t-shirt was just over $2 with my coupon, and I was able to get 2. I love the purple color. I think it's so cute and it really goes well in my home. So if you're interested in more DIYs or upcycles, let me know, because I'm trying to decorate my home on a serious budget. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.